welcome to everyone joining us for this year's Norway Chess and Norway Chess Women. We are thrilled to have you with us for one of the most anticipated events of the year in classical chess. The world's strongest players are back at the board today for the second half of the event, which means that we will see the same exciting matchups, but with colors reversed, featuring a blockbuster clash between the reigning world chess champion Gukesh and the world number one Magnus Carlsen. We are live from the beautiful city of Stavanger in Norway to share with you all the excitement of top-level chess, as well as to help you learn this wonderful game, how the pieces move, how to checkmate your opponent. We will teach you everything you need to know in order to pick up the game if you are interested. I am your host, International Master Anna Rudolph, and I'm thrilled to be joined by a wonderful team of experts, pundits, world-class commentator, and coach, Grandmaster Christian Kriela with us.
Great to see you, Anna.
Always great to see you, Christian. Our special guest of the day, chess journalist, lecturer, and columnist of El País, Leoncho Garcia.
It's a real pleasure, Anna and Christian, joining such very good commentators for some hours.
We're missing one of them, though.
We do have an empty chair. That is chess legend and five-time world chess champion Vishwanathan Anand. He's missing today, and he's clearly missing us too. So much to look forward to today also at Norway Chess. We already highlighted the blockbuster matchup, the rematch between reigning world chess champion Gukesh and world number one and tournament leader Magnus Carlsen. But the rest of the pairings are also pretty exciting. And in Norway Chess Women, we have a similar pairing when it comes to the reigning world champion Ju Wen-jun facing her compatriot and world number three, Lei Tingjie. And if we don't count the number one being Hu Yifan, she still plays, but she's semi-retired. So if we only look at the active players in the women's field, we do have world number one against world number two today.
Magnus is having some good time.
And the smile on his face, I think he said something to the young lady. It's so nice to see when they interact with the fans and the children here. All the players are so down to earth and approachable. They give a lot of signatures, take selfies, especially with the children that come here to see them. It's just heartwarming to see.
And we have E4, by the way, on the board. He's testing Magnus in what Fabiano played yesterday as well, or something along those lines, because it did feel like Fabi got an advantage out of the opening, and Magnus did say, hey, I forgot to look at this line, this particular line. So there are some holes in his preparation, and right now Gukesh will try to exploit them. Let's see, bishop to b5 or bishop c4? Bishop b5, okay. Following exactly what Fabiano played yesterday, the Ruy Lopez, the Spanish. And that bishop is on c5 as we expected, and we did get an immediate move. Okay, this is somewhat unexpected. Wow,
rook to
a2.
We didn't anticipate that.
No, we didn't.
Played
we were looking at rook to
immediately
d1.
after the bishop move of Fabiano. What are we making of this? So Hikaru spent 23 minutes earlier on that rook move attacking the queen, and now this is what he wanted.
The idea is very clear. You do not want to allow bishop takes f2, because this whole variation that we're looking at just simply doesn't work anymore.
We do have an interview with the man, the one, the only streamer of our tournament, Hikaru Nakamura, who is heading to his Armageddon game against Fabiano-Caruana.
It seems Fabiano has come pretty good out of a lot of the games in this tournament. How did you feel about his ideas today?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a bit of a joke when people say that Fabiano is all preparation, nothing else. Of course, he's a very, very strong player. So, you know, I think this is modern day chess. What I would say is Magnus, myself, and a few others have gotten very good at finding positions that are maybe slightly dubious according to computers. But if your opponent's not perfect, you're completely fine. And I mean, I went for something extremely boring in this game today. Perhaps I should have played d5. Who knows? I mean, it could have worked out very badly for me. I will say that. But yeah, Fabiano is obviously very good, and it's just a usual sort of boring game. So I'm not happy, but that's life.
Hikaru Nakamura talking about that boring game in classical, but now they are fighting it out in an exciting Armageddon. Let's break down real quick the format. I think we just remind our viewers of the time advantage of white being 3 minutes, but that cost you the draw. In case of a draw, black wins the game. So black has draw odds, white has more time. This is a sudden death. This is the imbalance. According to Hikaru's interview, his thoughts, he would prefer usually black in an Armageddon, but in this game, he's got the white pieces. He has to try to win the game at all costs.
Simply, this pawn on d6 now feels a bit soft. Nevertheless, how can you get to it is the big question, right? You have the rook on d file, but you don't have a knight jump available to c4, try to get to d6 and create this beautiful fork.
The advantage of Fabiano, according to the engine, that bar we see on the left side, seems to be increasing with each and every move. It feels like Hikaru is not playing very accurately. It's hard to play, of course, 100% accurately in fast time controls, but it's just really liking what's happening for Fabiano. Why is that, Christian?
That's a very good question. And again, let's not forget, they don't know that. They don't have access to the assessment of the position.
Oh, they
Fabi's,
certainly don't. Question mark move now by Fabiano. A mistake.
Fabi's position, and I wouldn't call it necessarily a mistake, maybe a missed opportunity. Knight to e6 would have been very strong. With a knight towards d4, if you try to defend that, then I'm starting to look at knight g5. It's all about consequences of your moves. But let's get back to the position. Whoa, 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 whoa. I saw a double question
happened?
mark. I saw a double question mark for a
Wait,
second.
now it's thinking is double question mark.
It's
Earlier
not,
it was
it's
one
not.
question mark.
It's not a double question mark move. White can actually just take the pawn, rook takes d6, and then say, you know what, prove the compensation.
And what is the
Where is
compensation?
the compensation?
Does Fabiano have something planned, something up his sleeve?
Let's see if he goes for it, first of all.
It's happening.
Yes,
the
he
pawn is
goes.
gone. White is up a pawn. Hikaru with the material advantage. Where's the compensation?
This is
Fabiano needs to find it.
this is move 25. Also,
Is there any way to activate the h6 bishop?
yes, and that's that's not the right move. That is
Giving
not the right move.
check.
King to f1, and now it's unclear. Bishop b takes c4. That's just simply going to be, well, an extra pawn to the good.
And that's what Hikaru is doing exactly. Attacking the bishop, kicking it out of that beautiful location.
Where do you put that bishop is a big question right now. And you don't have bishop c1.
Attacking the rook, but that's also looking like the pieces of black are scrambled all over the
Yeah.
place. There's no harmony.
This is not
Exactly.
looking good, guys.
Harmony, lack of harmony is the key word in this position, I think.
Rook b8. Hikaru is looking for some trades. What Hikaru is hoping for is this checkmate right here. Bishop takes e5, followed by rook to c8,
That
rook
would be
h8.
huge. That would be huge if he gets the bishop onto that diagonal, and what a checkmate pattern that would be. Trade of rooks on the back rank, and Fabiano protecting the pawn. That's key.
That's why he did it. That's why he did it. Otherwise, you get checkmated. You cannot allow that.
Hikaru is keeping as much material on the board as he can. He's in a must-win situation in Armageddon. That is the rule. And he's doing his best to keep it as complex as possible.
Get this king towards the center. This is what you should be going for. Bishop to... Whoa.
Another inaccuracy by Fabiano.
That is a big problem right now. f5 is coming. f5
yeah.
is coming, and the knight does not have a nice outpost anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Pain on the back rank, but the computer is still very critical now about both
The computer
players' choices.
doesn't like rook c8. Such a natural move.
It is time to make some more space for the king, and is the only way. Or you can go forward with the king. Let's see if he finds any of those two moves. If he doesn't, he's in a losing position. f6 to make space for the king, or king to g7 to get off this pin.
Yes, king
King a7.
He moves the king, but to the
Oh
wrong
my God.
square.
Bishop
No.
e5. Bishop e5 finishes the game right now. If he finds it,
No, he
Hikaru
didn't.
plays something else. He's pushing the pawn.
He didn't.
The game is still on. Other than trading the bishops, but the rook endgame seems to be too drawish as well.
rook to c2 is a threat as well. Rook to a6, king to f5,
Tricky, trying to get a discover check, but the king moves out of it.
king to e6, king to g4 as well works.
Now the drawing chances are more than reasonable.
But don't take on c5.
Absolutely.
Don't take on c5. That's going to be a difficult defense.
He takes. He's not listening to you.
He's still fine.
Yeah.
In fact, the way to do it is just bring this. Oh, this is easy actually. This is easy.
Okay, easy. So the king reaches
He
the
can
right
take.
squares.
He can take this pawn right now. Next move and just
yes.
bring
the
the king.
corner of the
yeah,
color.
we
This is a
should-
special
That's it.
endgame in chess, and that's why they shake hands. This is a draw. Missed chance by Hikaru Nakamura, but we don't have time to break it down because we have another Armageddon to cover. The reigning women's world champion Ju Wenjun against Lei Tingjie, and shortly after that, we also have another Armageddon. There's just so much going on here right now in Stavanger. And we do see a happy Aryan Tari walking by. We do need to give a shout out to the second of Fabiano Caruana. Congratulations to Fabi. Aryan was our guest earlier on the show. What a game that was. We will definitely go back to it, but not now.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! What is
Double
this?
question mark.
Double question or because if you take, I take on d8 and now I'm not going to take back, but in fact I will take on f3 first.
What?
And when you take back, I will take back on d8. This is a complete melee right now,
Yeah.
but it's in black's favor. Knight takes d5 was a huge, huge mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, because now the total domination disappears completely.
Completely.
Now black has a lot of play. Yeah.
Completely. This is right now black's game to lose. 15 seconds left.
She has to speed up. There's only going to be a 1 second increment. There's nothing.
No, she decides against the queen trade. But leaving this e-pawn right now, with ideas of rook to e3 to pursue that, yes. Oh, queen takes h4.
But it's not being played. Ju Wenjun also misses the chance.
That this looks very dangerous.
It does indeed. Queen takes h4. You have to take the pawn on b4.
Ju Wenjun will try. She has to. She has to win this game.
Get this king up. Get this king up.
Oh, she's trying and she's getting it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
This is winning now. This is easy win.
Yes.
My goodness.
Wow. What a
Now,
turnaround of events.
These two
Again.
pawns are winning, yeah.
My goodness. Just get the rook behind this pawn and start pushing the other two. What a turn of events.
Phew.
What a turn of
Heartbreaking
events.
game.
Heartbreaking game indeed. Yes.
Goodness me, Lei Tingjie.
But Ju
She
had
was
2
so
seconds.
close.
Ju
2
right now has
seconds
2
when she made
seconds
the
on the
move.
clock. Wait a minute. This
She
is
could
not.
still
This
lose
is
on
not
time.
over.
And she's spoiling it. Now the black
This
king
is
is
not
active
over.
too, and the pass pawn is marching.
Yes.
And again, white is winning. Oh, goodness me. They're both queening.
Oh my goodness.
Queen versus rook.
Wow.
And game over.
Wow.
Wow.
Ju Wenjun won because she got the queen, but there were so many swings along the way, and that's because they were both playing on 1 second.
Welcome back, everyone, to the broadcast of Norway Chess and Norway Chess Women. This is the second half of the event already, and the players are facing each other again, once more time, but now with colors reversed. This is the reigning world chess champion Gukesh Domraju against the world #1 Magnus Carlsen. This is the rematch.
And the game plan and the blueprint is very clear right now. I'm just going to, with the last move, I'm going to be looking at pushing it even further down the board with the move h4, and then you will lose this pawn on e4. You will lose this pawn on e4. And once you lose this pawn on e4, you will lose the pawn on d5 as well. It's bad. In fact, this is just losing right now. After
Wow.
queen takes a5, rook takes a5, I do believe that is on the board right now.
It is happening. The pawn has just been captured. Queen
h4 will
takes.
come. There's absolutely no... Magnus is going to push that pawn immediately right now, as we see him do it.
Wei Yi already ready for that crucial Armageddon game against Arjun Erigaisi. This is it. Arjun with 3 extra minutes on the clock, but he has to win. In case of a draw, Wei Yi wins this crucial battle in Armageddon today.
Wow.
Wei is still blitzing out his moves. What is happening? Does he still know? Is this still theory for Wei? Sorry, for Arjun.
Wow. I'm surprised why didn't White give a check?
Oh my goodness. Take a look at this. If you do castle, I capture
Oh my
your
God.
queen.
Another queen trap.
I trap your queen.
So
oh my
many.
goodness.
Ever since Huga released her song, we keep seeing these queen traps.
Guys, we might be seeing a master class of how to approach the Armageddon, because Arjun right now, 9 minutes 30 seconds against 4 minutes. Wei Yi has been completely outclassed in the opening phase right now. Arjun is still, in theory, he still knows exactly what to do. King to e7. And this is winning. Right now, Arjun has a winning position. He got a winning position out of the opening with his absolutely stellar play. Queen to c1 is the move, and he finds it.
My goodness.
Rook
Does
to
he
a3.
still know this position?
Oh,
Is this still
over.
preparation?
This is still prep. This is still prep. This is over right now. This is a winning position for white. Queen to c1, he knows exactly what to do. Rook to a3 is coming. You can take my knight, no problem. I will take your queen. Knight takes b7. It's over. It's absolutely over. Just give a check on a8, follow it up with another check on a7. And then you always have the opportunity to just simply go bishop f1. You can go bishop f1 right now, which he does. Yeah.
Guarding the pawn, that was the last chance of black to capture that pawn and start giving checks to the white king.
Let's go for it. Rook a1. You cannot cover this pawn on a5. He goes check first.
And Wei Yi resigns because there is no chance anymore. We do need to run back to the game of the reigning World Chess champion Gukesh against world #1 Magnus Carlsen, because this is it. This could be another classical win for Magnus.
He is absolutely busted. He loves to take hope away from his opponents. He decides to do it in a different way. He goes king f6. I do think that Gukesh has some serious chances of surviving this one.
And he knows it. You can see it on the body language, as you said, Christian. He knows it. And Magnus knows it too.
Yes, yes. I think Magnus maybe underestimated this move, rook to f3. There is no other move. What is Magnus thinking?
And he finds it. He
King to
plays
e1.
it.
Otherwise, knight takes d5 was going to come in the position. g5. Cement this knight on f6. Cement it right now.
Both of them are playing so precisely and with no time on the clock.
Knight d7.
Gukesh jumps away with the knight instead of pushing the pawn.
Oh my
Attacks the black
goodness.
pawn.
Rook to e8, you have to defend that. You have to defend the pawn on e5. Rook to e8, if you do take on e5, then I give you a check, intermezzo, and then I pick up the knight on e5. Oh my goodness, this is a barn burner right now with 3 results. To be honest, I can see 3 results.
What an end game.
What is the magical bar saying, Mehmet?
When there's 20 seconds for both players, Magnus
92.
Carlsen making a big mistake, a blunder.
Oh my
He's
goodness.
blundering away.
Magnus is losing right now.
Oh my goodness.
Magnus is in a lost position right now. Knight to e6 is winning for Gukesh.
Magnus Carlsen from a winning position is now completely losing.
Oh my goodness. King to e3 is the last chance, the last hope.
And
King
he
to e3
plays
and he
it.
plays it. If you take right now, take, and then my e-pawn is going down the board. So you have to find knight a4. Knight a4 is the only winning move right now. Look at the tension between the 2 players. G takes h5 with anger played by Magnus.
He's clearly upset, having blown a completely winning position. It was a Magnus-style game, a winning endgame, but he didn't play it with the precision that we know of him under the time pressure.
Knight to b2 is the only move, or knight to b6. Knight to b2, wow.
And Gukesh plays it. He is so accurate.
e3, knight to c4, and take the pawn on c4, and I think, take the pawn on e3, I think that might be it. h6, no, king to f4.
And look at that reaction by the world #1 Magnus Carlsen. Gukesh also cannot believe it. He's so upset. You can see everything on Magnus Carlsen's reaction, the body language, the gesture. He is furious.
This is a game that will live in history. This is for the history books right here, ladies and gentlemen. He knows it, Magnus knows it, Gukesh knows it, guaranteed, and everybody, the world of chess knows it right here. Gukesh, the world champion, is back.
This has been such an incredible game. We have
Look at him. He still cannot believe
in the
it.
playing hall. Gukesh sitting down back at the board. He still cannot believe it.
He's back at the board. He had to get back his wits. And right now he's back at the board. He cannot believe it. It's like he's still playing the game right now. He's still in the game right now. He cannot believe it himself. The world champion is back. Gukesh is absolutely back in this rivalry right now. Look at him shaking his head. He knows it.
Those are
Wow.
the final moments in the game and the frustration of Magnus Carlsen.
Incredible. And he said good game.
He said
Good game.
We gotta show what happened in today's round at Norway Chess. Here are the results of day 6. 2 Armageddon games we have witnessed. Arjun Erigaisi, the only player who has won all his Armageddons. He beats Wei Yi. That was a home preparation. Very well done in Armageddon. Beats the number 1 player of China. I'm losing my words. I'm catching my breath. Caruana has won his Armageddon game against Hikaru Nakamura. But the game of the day was between the reigning world chess champion Gukesh and the world number 1 Magnus Carlsen. And Gukesh coming back from the dead in a really difficult position where it felt like all hope was lost. He finds chances. He kept believing. He kept fighting. And he wins the game against Magnus Carlsen, writing history today here in Stavanger, Norway. In the lead, we have Magnus Carlsen and Caruana both on 9.5 points. Gukesh now is in 3rd place with 8.5. What a day this has been here in Stavanger, Norway. And we do have one more game to cover, the compatriots of Gukesh, Vaishali and Humpy Koneru, the final Armageddon game of the day at Norway Chess Women. Everything is at stake. Vaishali had a winning position in the classical game, but she made a mistake, ended up in a draw. And now we see Vaishali with more time, but Humpy with the draw odds in Armageddon.
I think you have to go on c6. Take on c6. Sacrifice and hope for the best.
Yes.
Get on c6, take the pawn on c6, try to create some imbalance. If you don't do this, then from a practical perspective, you make life too easy for Koneru.
That's very instructive, Christine. I think I had not thought about this.
She's going
but
for it.
She's going for it, yeah.
It's, again, the position objectively, you can see it by the bar, it's still completely equal. It's been a long day, guys.
It has been a very long day.
It's been a long day.
I don't even know my own name anymore. It's been a long day.
Yes, but of course, right now, it's going to be very difficult to make any significant progress for White. Without the rooks, it's very difficult. You're not worse, you're probably slightly better as White, but you don't have enough firepower to create any sort of problems for Black.
And a reminder that this is Armageddon, so Humpy only needs a draw. With Black, you have draw odds in Armageddon. You start with less time, but in case of a draw, you win the match in Armageddon. That is the format. And in...
Whoa!
What?
Whoa!
Humpy has just hung her rook when we said that there is no
goodness.
chance. She has hung her rook. She places the rook on a square where it can be captured by the bishop. Crucial blunder by the leader of the tournament. What a day!
My goodness.
Apparently,
What
we are not
just
the only
happened?
tired ones here.
That was the commentator's jinx right there, because we did call it almost. We were like, yeah, this is over. There's no way for Black to make a mistake. And she did. She made the worst mistake, the worst move that, in fact, she could have played.
Humpy Koneru blunders her rook and loses her Armageddon game against Vaishali. What a day. Let's take a look at the results at Norway Chess Women as well. Christian.
Absolutely. Sarakadem losing the Armageddon. They made a draw in the Classical. Then Anna got the lead in the Armageddon, 1.5 points. That keeps her at the top of the standings. Vaishali, 1.5 points against 1 for Koneru. Just defeated Koneru in that incredible Armageddon. And of course, Ju Wen-jun, the world champion, takes the victory against her compatriot Lei Tingzhe. How about the standings?
Wow, with that loss in Armageddon, Humpy Koneru is now joined in the lead by Anna Muzichuk. And in third place, we have Ju Wen-jun. Vaishali is going up on the standings. She won yesterday in classical chess. She won in Armageddon today. She could still win the tournament. She's on a streak. Thank you so much for joining us. And we see you tomorrow. Same time, same place.